Hi guys, so I'm going to show you guys how I make my very own deodorant stick, and it's very healthy, and I'm using 2 tablespoons of shea butter, 3 tablespoons of coconut oil, about 2 tablespoons of beeswax pellets, and then 3 tablespoons of arrowroot powder, 2 tablespoons of baking soda, tea tree oil, and essential oils of your choice. And like I said, this is very healthy and very well known among people that make their own deodorant. And this is all chemical free and just fantastic and works really well. So let's get started, and I hope you guys end up making your own. Hi guys, so we're gonna get started, and I have my stovetop on between a low to medium heat, and we're gonna do the double boiler method. I'm gonna use one of my stainless steel bowls, put it into a pot with water, and making sure that my stainless bowl actually floats a little bit, but not too much water to where it's gonna boil over, I hope. So here we go. I'm gonna add in the coconut oil and the shea butter, and we're going to melt this down really slow. We don't want it to melt down really quickly over a high heat and burn it. We just want it to melt slowly but still hot enough to melt the beeswax as well. So let's start off at that below a medium heat just to be safe. And as it comes to a boil, it will start to heat up and melt down. And I'm also going to be lifting up the bowl a couple of times because I just want to make sure that the water level is good in this double boiler method to where it doesn't start to boil over once it starts to boil. So I'm just gonna kind of just scoot this around and help it along and break it up into little smaller pieces just so it'll melt down a little faster, and just kind of watch it and steer it around until it melts down. And these are actually the deodorant tubes that I got off of Amazon. I got like 6 or 8, I think, for a really good price. And all I actually do is I just boil them and clean them out whenever I need to reuse them. And it's fantastic because they're reusable. Like I said, just boil them and then wash them out with some Dawn dish soap or whatever dish soap you have. And they're really good. I absolutely love these, and I've had no problems with them, even like when the little bottoms come out, because my kids will take them out once they're all used up. So easy to put right back together. So I absolutely love these. So those are fantastic. Those are great. Gotta put dinner in the oven real quick. And then I'm gonna actually grab the beeswax pellets after this, and we're gonna start mixing those in. So now let's grab the beeswax pellets, and you can actually find these on Amazon. I like to get the small pellets like this because they melt faster, and they are fantastic. I actually got these from my herbalist here in town. I love her herbal shop. So I know that they are very good in grade A. So if you get like the bars or the bricks, you're gonna have to grade it down and just kind of break it down into pieces. You could even go to your local market or find somebody that's a beekeeper and get their honey, but then you gotta sift it and melt it down and clean it out and stuff like that. So we are going to melt these down, and like I said, these are fantastic because they melt quickly. And I do live, it is summer where I am, so it's super hot here. And at first I did only was going to put in about a full tablespoon of the beeswax, but then I decided to add a little bit more. So as you can tell, because I was like, yeah, it's a little too hot here right now. We're about in the 80s or 90s, and I don't want it melting once I get it all together and into the deodorant stick. So I added a couple more pinches of beeswax that would come to about maybe a teaspoon more that I added. So it brings it to a full 2 tablespoons that I use of the beeswax. And then we're just gonna melt these down. I don't remember what I'm doing right now, but yeah, we're gonna melt these down and get these all good to go. Okay, so now I remember I went and grabbed a little whisk because we're going to get ready to whisk in the baking soda and the arrowroot powder. Now, you can use less baking soda or no baking soda at all because some people kind of have like a little reaction to baking soda and their bodies just can't take it. So that's also why I don't use as much baking soda. I just choose not to. So like I said, I'll use 3 tablespoons of the arrowroot powder and only 2 tablespoons of the baking soda. But you could totally add in another tablespoon of the baking soda just to give it that extra, But I'm removing it from the double boiler. And just so I could get it mixed in correctly and just kind of get it all in there, you know what I mean? Because on the double boiler, it just kind of floats there. And when I go to stir it, I'm gonna have to have my fingers on it and stuff. And but I'm gonna add the tea tree oil, and I am literally adding, sorry, I have to shake it like really well because it doesn't want to come out. I'm adding about 5 to 6 drops of the tea tree oil, and that's it. And then I'm adding in cinnamon, and this is super strong, and I just learned that doing this video. I added about like 9 drops of the cinnamon, but you know what? It actually turned out really well, and this is a new bottle, so I gotta get it working. But I added about 9 drops of the cinnamon, and it was really powerful at first, but it ended up turning out like really, really, really good. Okay, I might have used more than 9 drops. Yeah, I'd say I used more than 9 drops, but it turned out really, really well. And you can use as many drops as you want. And then this is my tangerine. I absolutely love it. And I'm using about a good 20 drops of the tangerine just to take out the overpowering of the cinnamon, because like I said, it was my first time using the cinnamon and it just smelled really strong. But once it all got together, it totally smells yummy, y'all. Like it just smelled really strong when I first put it in like that. So putting it back over the double boiler, and we are going to make sure, I'm just making sure I get all of it in there. I don't like anything to go to waste, y'all. And we are going to stir this in over the heat. Yes, because I just want to make sure that it all gets like melted down and incorporated correctly with each other. And I'm just going to give this a good whisk and get this all mixed in. Whisked, whatever. Okay, but yeah, so we're going to whisk this up and just give it a good whisk, y'all. So I still think that the cinnamon is overpowering it a little bit. So I actually decided to add in more of the tangerine. And that's why I said I added about 20 drops, because I ended up adding more right here. And I got to shake it just a little bit. But I added altogether, I want to say about 20 to 22 drops of the tangerine. And we're just going to mix this up really, really good. And I don't know why I added more cinnamon, y'all. Don't add more cinnamon, but I added more cinnamon too, because then the tangerine became a little bit powerful. And I added probably about like 3 more drops of that when it finally came out. So I'm smelling it, like I'm just smelling it. And I'm going to take it off the boiler, and I am going to just keep whisking, and this is going to actually start to solidify and thicken as the metal stainless steel bowl starts to cool. But I'm just going to keep stirring it, actually, because I want everything to be really well mixed in. And like I said, it's my first time using the cinnamon essential oil, so I'm just kind of going by my nose smell right now with it. And it smells really good, really strong, but really good. And once it was all done, it totally smelled awesome, you guys, like just totally awesome. So yeah, what was I doing right here? Like, I don't even know, but hey. So we're just gonna keep stirring this until I feel that it is just all mixed in and kind of dissolved better and just good to go. So now this is actually starting to cool down. So, because as you can tell, it's starting to stick to kind of the side of the bowl. And I'm just trying to, keep all the ingredients together here. But it's starting to solidify and starting to become solid. So I'm just going to give it a couple quick more stirs to cool down just a little bit more before I put it into the plastic container, because I don't want it super hot. going into those containers. So just enough to cool down to where it's starting to get hard like it is, if you can tell. And so we are going to start pouring this in. Oh, I'm just checking it just to make sure it's at the right consistency. I wanted it at the right consistency because as you can tell, it's starting to. So we are going to start, I'm going to start pouring it in. And it fills up both with a little extra left over. So I just kind of just try to even them out and give them a little nice little top. And then see, as you can tell, it just totally goes completely fantastic creamy, like a beautiful cream. And it goes solid once it all starts to cool down. And then what I am actually going to do is put these into the fridge, and I'm just gonna let them sit into the fridge for a minute to let them just kind of get a little more solid and to move it along quicker. You don't have to set them in the fridge at all, and you can totally take this leftover and put it in a little canister and just kind of finger it onto your armpits if you'd like. That's what I just kind of do. I just put the rest of it into a container, and I just use it when these are out. But I'll usually just kind of just set it and save it, like I said, because I really don't like to waste anything. So yeah, but I'm gonna put these ones into the fridge, and I'm gonna let them sit there. I would say for about a good 30 minutes. You probably don't even have to put it in there for 30 minutes because they're already setting. And then I usually just kind of put them, I'll put one in my purse, and then I'll put one on my vanity just to have with me. And then as soon as this video is done, I'm actually going to go through and I am going to show you guys how I make a spray deodorant. And there's actually a lot of recipes for the spray deodorant. My main one, which is my favorite to use, is literally just water and some arrowroot powder and some witch hazel. Now in my video I accidentally leave out that you need to add water, but yeah, it's water, rose scented witch hazel, and essential oils and arrowroot powder, and I just mix it all up into a spray bottle, and I spray it under my arms. I absolutely love it because in the next video when I make it, I'll show you guys. I absolutely am in love with the rose smell right now, but I'm actually out of the rose essential oils. So I have one coming in. So in the video that I'm going to be posting for that, I'm not using my rose oil. I'm just going to be using the same oils that I'm using here to make that. And it's a total different recipe in the next one. It's a new recipe that I had picked up from my herbalist supplier here in where I live at, where I get all my herbs and stuff from, and some of my supplies. She has a recipe of her own that I wanted to use and to just kind of give a try to see if I like it better than what I'm doing now for myself and for my family. So I'm going to give that a try, and I will post that in my next video. And I hope you guys enjoy this, and I hope you guys are able to make it and totally enjoy it. And sorry you guys can't see the bottles very well in this video. The sun was really, really shining, and I even had the lights and everything off, but it was still so shiny you guys couldn't see the bottles in this. So sorry about that. So I hope you guys enjoy, like I said, and I hope you guys give it a try, and